Listen, now is the prime time for taking stock in your life and your systems. Around this time, I always start reflecting on the first half of the year, what's working, what's not working, what needs a complete reboot. And that's exactly what this video is for. Whether you're brand new to planning or you've been doing this for a minute and just need to tweak your system. Today, we're going all the way, baby. From choosing a planner to setting it up, adding supplies, designing your layouts, and actually using it in the way that's stress-free but highly effective. By the end of this video, you'll have a planner system that's cute, functional, and actually works for you. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel and thanks for joining me for another video. This is Marquita from At Home with Kita, and here is your tips on how to plan a balanced life. So if you're new here, I hope you'll consider subscribing. So today's video is all about your planner. If you're new to planning and you are a little bit confused, you like, sis, help a girl out. That's what this video is for. I'm gonna take you through the entire process. So let's get into it. So there are several steps in the process when it comes to making your planner the most effective, okay? But I'm going to break it down in the simplest of terms so that way if you're a newbie, of course, this will resonate with you. And if you're not so much of a newbie, you can still apply these tips. Okay, step one in the process, of course, you have to choose a planner. All right, so first things first, you need a planner that fits your life and your vibe. Now, there are so many options out there and it can feel a little bit overwhelming. So I'm gonna break it down for you, okay? Because again, the options are optioning and you need help. So that's why I'm here. Option one are pre-printed planners. Now, I love this option because it's the super easy option because everything is already done for you. And when it comes to pre-printed planners, there are so many options, so many companies out there. I'm going to say this one time just to get it out the way, my shameless plug, but every single thing you see here and going forward is always going to be from Fancy Plans Co. Okay. Now, again, pre-printed planners can look different ways, okay? You have your disc bound system, which is what this is. You have your coil bound system. You have your ring bound system. Some of them are more limited than others. When it comes to your ring bound system and your disc bound system, you can move things around. You can build a planner system that works for you. You can only have the inserts in your planner that you're going to use. And that's what I have here. I don't want a coil bound planner. It's not going to work for me because it's limited in its functionality in terms of being custom. And some of the pages I don't use, I don't want to be ripping stuff out. I want to be able to pull a page out and move it around. And I want to be able to restructure my planner as I see fit. But if you're a girly that doesn't really need all of that, then of course a ring bound planner, pre-printed, I don't know why I can't say that. I'm trying to say that 3 times fast, okay? Pre-printed planners could work for you, okay? Otherwise, you may want to look into a disc bound system or a ring planner. So that way you can move this around if you want. You can add pages in there as you see fit. If you just want your simple planner, you don't need to do all that. Ring may be your option, or coil may be your option, but just explore, go to the store, touch, feel things, and see how you think it could fit into your life. So just to kind of show you how mine looks, I did do a flip through on my channel just to give you a full tour of this planner. It is jam-packed with all the things that work for my lifestyle. And so I am currently using a pre-printed planner. And so that means that on my inserts here that you'll see, it's already printed. My monthly is printed. As you can see, my monthly is printed. All right, I don't have to do anything but just fill in the dates and fill in all of my tasks. And my weekly is already pre-printed. I don't have to do anything, again, besides just write in my plans. All right. So the pros for this sort of system, of course, is that it's already pre-designed. So you usually, like a company like ours, which you'll see in this video later, is that we have a ton of layouts. So you're literally able to go and look and see how the layouts look and how they can fit into your life and choose the one that you feel like might be best for you. Okay. Some of them have dated pages. Ours happen to not have dated pages. So that way you can really maximize these pages. If you skip a week, you don't waste inserts. And so that's why we love undated pages. Okay. But you have to decide that for yourself. They also sometimes have built-in things. So like this spread has a built-in habit tracker, to clean section, meal section. Some may have goal trackers and things like that. So it's really easy to start right out of the gate. So that's why I really love pre-printed planners and pre-printed inserts in general. Okay, I'm not big on the whole Bujo thing and drawing stuff. Get somebody else to do it. I don't want to do that. Okay, but again, this system may not work for you. So that's what this video is all about, is being able to choose the best planner system that's going to work for you. And so I want to give you all of the options and the pros and cons to each option. Now, the con to this option is that it can kind of feel restrictive. Okay, so sometimes the layout just doesn't quite match your workflow, and they are usually sometimes, not in our shop case, because I feel like we are on the lower end, but still high quality, don't get it twisted, of things, but they can be pricier too. So just consider that as well. When I talk about the next option, is super duper cheap, and that can work just as well as a system like this. But really try to consider pre-printed planners, especially just starting out, because it's just such an easy option to just be able to plug and go, especially if you choose the right layout, which again we'll talk about later. Okay, option 2 when it comes to choosing your planner is a blank notebook. Okay, period. Now, sometimes a blank notebook is just all you need. At the end of the day, it really is all you need. All right, so you can literally take something like this. Now, I did grab some pre-printed inserts to build this notebook, but most notebooks are just going to come with your blank paper. So they are just going to come with paper that kind of looks like this. And so you are going to have to take this blank slate and turn it into something. Okay, now I can't help you with that because again, it's not my vibe, it's not my thing, but it is a great option. All right, especially if you're just trying to get in your groove of things and you don't want to go out and spend a bunch of money. All right, so here are the pros to something like this. You have ultimate flexibility and creativity. Okay, so you design or decide your own layouts, your spacing, your sections. So it's really perfect for experimenting. All right, the cons is that it's going to take way more effort to set that thing up. Like I said, get somebody else to do it. This is a no for me, okay, as you see, which is why this system works for me, but we are different people, baby. This may work for you, and I love that for you. So again, this is a great option for just experimenting if you're just not quite sure you want to dive into something like this, because this is a huge commitment. Money-wise, it takes time as well, and just to be able to build it up like to the way you really want it. Whereas this is just so much more of a simpler system and still effective. All right. Number 3 are printable inserts. Now I love printable inserts. And at the end of the day, that's what these are. Our shop has a bunch of different printable options. Basically, it's a digital insert that you download and you print it at home. So it gives the same vibes. Like you could, come and print a bunch of notebook paper and then assemble your own notebook, or you could download different type of inserts that are pre-designed, and you can still build a custom system like this. Okay, so here are the pros to that. These are like custom pre-printed inserts. It's like a custom option, of course. For me, that's a great option. That would be a great option if I were to be building something from scratch. It's custom. It's going to be able to give you that ability to be able to build your own custom planner. And you also print exactly the layouts that you want, and you can mix and match them in a system like this. So you're only literally purchasing, downloading, and printing what you know you're going to use. All right. So here are the cons to that. Is that you have to use your own paper, you got to use your own supplies, you have to research that part because you don't want to be printing on regular printer paper that's flimsy. So you want to invest in good quality paper, and sometimes on the back end, or maybe even on the front end, it ends up being more expensive than just purchasing that insert from whatever the store is. Okay, so here's how you're going to do it, because I know some of you may be wondering, well, how do you get the digital inserts? You're literally going to just search for PDF printable inserts. Some are free, some are paid. We do have some paid options here. We used to do Freebie Friday, and maybe we'll re-implement that again, where we do a freebie every single Friday where you can print it at home, or you can print it at your local print shop. Again, there is a cost to that, and so you have to weigh that out to see if that's a better option. And then you also have to punch it. And that's a whole process. You're going to need to invest in a punch, and then you're literally just going to add them to your planner, and you have that instant customization. All right. Number 4, which is my least favorite, but some people swear by this, and that is digital planners. Okay, I'm not a digital girly. I tried it once and it just wasn't for me, and I know me, and that's what I'm saying with this process. Is a learning process. So you have to try each one of these things to see which you feel like may be best for you. Now, here are the pros of digital planners. They're perfect for tech lovers. Now, I'm a tech lover, but they're not perfect for me, okay? Or even for on-the-go planning. And I do love a good hybrid system. So in addition to my planner here, I do use my phone, certain digital aspects of that. So that way I can still keep up to date with everything. I can be reminded of certain things. Also, these digital planners work great in like an app called GoodNotes, which is what I use. Also Notion, or any iPad app. You also can move things around, you can copy pages, and you really literally never run out of space. So digital is a great option. And again, you have to work that out within yourself. Some cons of that is that it's not tactile, and some people miss the satisfaction of writing things down. And that is the biggest thing for me, is that I want to write on paper. And there is science that proves that writing, the act of writing, actually helps you to remember and get things done more so than the digital aspect of it. And in yesterday's video, I talked kind of about how digital can sometimes be a distraction, because you're going to get tons of alerts, tons of reminders, pop-ups on your phone that you need to swipe away. And sometimes one of those pop-ups might be a reminder that's important, and you swipe that thing away, okay? Whereas this sort of system, you ain't swiping nothing, baby, okay? It's here, it's in front of you, and it's more likely that you're going to get it done when you can see it like this visually, and you can check it off, and you just feel more accomplished, okay? So here's how to choose. These are some questions that you can ask yourself. Do I like something small for travel or something big to keep on my desk? Do I want a minimal vibe, or do I want something colorful and decorative? So my tip is that if you're just starting, grab a blank notebook. Again, we talked about that earlier. If you're just starting, especially because of the investment of this, just because it's low risk, low cost, and it lets you experiment before committing to a pre-printed planner. Okay, so those are the 4 options that you have when it comes to choosing a planner. You've got pre-printed, you've got blank notebooks, printable inserts, and digital. So choose wisely, okay? Because this is going to be something, especially if you invest in something like this, that you want to keep long term. You don't want to invest a bunch of money into a system that you're not going to use. So experiment at minimal cost, and then go all in once you find that one that you know you love and you feel like it's going to help you long term. All right? Okay, step 2 in the process is to gather your supplies. Yes, you need more than your planner. So now that you've got your planner all situated, we got to get it all decked out, right? Now, supplies can be minimal or they can be full on aesthetic. So here's what I recommend. There are some things that have really helped me in this whole planning process, and I want to share them with you. Now, I have become a little bit different of a planner girly over the years. Every now and then you might see me go all in like this with a sticker spread. And then sometimes it looks like this, very minimal black and white, just with sticky notes and my pen and a highlighter. It just goes week to week with my vibe and how I feel and how I want to plan for that week. You don't have to do all the things, so don't feel like just because you see something on Instagram, you have to do that. You do you, okay? You do whatever is going to help you to be able to tackle your task, because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. Yes, a pretty planner makes you want to open it and use it, but if you're not opening it and using it, then that's a problem. And if it's overwhelming because you're doing the most, that's a problem. And if it's costing you too much time because you're doing all the pretty stuff that you see on social media, that can be a problem. Okay, so you want to be balanced. All right, so I'm going to talk you through a couple of things that help me to achieve these looks in my planner and get things done, but still feel like it's aesthetically pleasing to the eye. So that way I make sure that I want to open my planner. First and foremost, your girl loves sticky notes. Again, everything's from Fancy Plans Co., so don't ask. Okay, that's where it's from. And I have a collection on our store called Kita's Planner Setup, and you can check into that to see all the things that I'm currently using. Okay, but I love sticky notes, transparent sticky notes. Now, when it comes to writing on them, because I know they can be a little tricky, I use a Sharpie. But you can use any oil-based pen or a permanent pen like a Sharpie, okay? And that just helps to be able to make sure the ink doesn't smudge. But these are all of my favorite sticky notes. I have some transparent ones in here. I have paper ones in here, which we have both options in our store, including this binder to house it all. Now, how I typically use sticky notes is various ways. I use it for color, so that way I can just have that little pop of color in my spread to make it look good. Or I use it to indicate something important that I'm starting. There's just so many ways to use sticky notes. I do have a tab here with my favorite sticky notes in addition to this binder here, so that way I can stock up from here onto here, because this is typically my color palette and I have it readily available. I try to keep as much in my planner as possible so I don't have to go searching around for things that I need, and so that's what's helpful for me. So again, sticky notes are used in my planner for various things, to decorate my spread, to indicate something super important that I don't want to forget, and just for that pop of color. All right, so I would definitely invest in some good sticky notes. Where you get them from is up to you, but we do have so many options in our store, and so that's where I'm using mine from, of course. All right, so sticky notes are a definite must for me. You also need a good pen, of course. So here's the pen that I'm currently using. I absolutely love this pen. Y'all know I'm a pen snob. We have this pen in our shop along with other pens, but this is the inner gel pen from Pentel. It glides on the page. Now you've got your 0.7 and 0.5, which are the most popular. This is a gel pen, which I recommend, a clickable one. And you're gonna need somewhere to put your pen. So you're either gonna do a pen loop like this, which I love having here because it's aesthetically pleasing and it's easy grab. So I grab it and then I open my planner, all right? And also rather a pen loop. So I've got a bunch of different pen loops on the back of my planner because I keep a bunch of pens on my planner, pens and highlighters, all right? So I use the Pilot Sharpie for the transparent sticky notes. I use this Sharpie pen for bold lettering. For instance, I'll show you, because I like sometimes two different ink thicknesses. So in my work planner specifically, on the sidebar here, I love to write this in bold, and then when I write my tasks, I use my regular pen just to give it some variation and, you know, thicknesses to kind of make things stand out in certain places. And then I use a highlighter. So you definitely want to have a highlighter as well. You know, I use a highlighter in my work planner because I like to section things off and I want to be able to see things. I keep a gray highlighter here because that's what's most popular that I like. But when I do highlighters for things like this and decorating my spread, bam, I have a whole case full of other highlighters. I don't change this one out. I just come here and I grab the highlighter of the week, if you will, which for this week is blue, just to kind of have something different. And I also use it in my regular weekly spread. So I'll come here and I'll highlight certain things in my weekly spread just to kind of, again, give it that pop of color. If I'm using stickers, I'll find a coordinating highlighter and I will use that to just make the spread that much more visual. All right, because I'm definitely a visual girly. Most of us are. So you're definitely going to need a pen, a highlighter. If you're going to be using transparent sticky notes, you definitely want to get a Sharpie, some sort of permanent pen. And I recommend, of course, you see 4 pens on my planner, but I recommend just starting with 1 pen, and then you can add more later. But you don't need a rainbow right away. Okay, that's something that you build up to. All right, so sticky notes, highlighters, whatever pen you're going to be using. I also love stickers, don't we all? So these are the 2 sticker books that we have available in our shop. All right, as a part of this video today, in your order, if you decide to order anything, make a note that says free sticker book, and I'll send you a free sticker book. How you like them apples, okay? And that way, if you're a planner newbie, you're just starting out and you want some sticker book to just kind of have so that you can add some stickers, then let me know. I got you, okay? Just again, in your order, there's a note section, just say free sticker book, and I'm gonna send you one, okay? So stickers are always a good idea. I usually tend to stick to neutral color palettes. There's companies everywhere that has stickers, and so choose ones that you think are gonna work best for you and try to have somewhat of a variety if you're a sticker girly, all right? I also recommend some sort of planner toolkit. In our shop, we have what's called a planner toolkit, which has a lot of the items that you're going to see here. These are my essentials. So when I get ready to sit down on a week to plan, this is typically what you're going to see. You're going to see my planner, you're going to see my highlighters, you're going to see the sticky notes, you're going to see stickers. Okay, so this is how my desk would look when it comes to planning for the week. All right, I also use an X-Acto for being able to cut washi and stickers. Washi is pretty much the same as a sticker, just looks different. Okay, I have a thicker Sharpie. I have a ruler for being able to also measure things out, lines, If I want to highlight something, I want it to be even, I'll use a ruler for that. I have these scissors. This comes in our planning toolkit because you need them. Sometimes I'll cut the stickers in half just to make it look different. So you want to keep that in your toolkit. I have whiteout, of course. This comes in our planner toolkit. These are a replacement for the X-Acto knife, which comes in the planner toolkit. This also comes in the planner toolkit, and this is sticky adhesive, okay? It's pretty self-explanatory. All right, and then I just have some other various pens. This is a white pen. Sometimes you have black sticky notes, which we have in our shop, and you will need this sort of pen to write on it. It's called a jelly roll, okay? And then a thinner Sharpie, this Papermate Flare, which I love. This is another little clickable kind of highlighter pen, and then tweezers, which come in the planner toolkit as well. So these are all the essentials, in my opinion, in terms of what you'll need on a weekly basis to be able to plan. You don't need any of them at the end of the day, but they make planning fun. So I'd recommend picking up a couple of these various tools to be able to just make sure you have what you need, including the case, which is available in our shop as well. Okay, so tools. All right, again, you see, it looks very different for me, right? I used to have all the things, which at the end of the day, I still do have them in the basement, and I'm working on getting rid of some of those things. But this, again, is how my desk looks when it comes to planning. Very simple, very demure, very sophisticated, it's giving she ain't doing the most anymore. But if you are that girl that wants to do the most, I ain't judging you. This is a judgment-free zone. But I like to just kind of keep the essentials here, and it just keeps me simple, and it makes planning a little bit easier and faster. And this is just the evolution of me, okay? I didn't start here. I ended up here, okay? And that's going to change as well, all right? So this just really helps you to level up. I also love a Pilot Frixion pen because it's erasable. So if you're starting out in a newbie, that may be a good option for you too. There are also like Tombow pens, which are art pens that will help you, especially if you're doing the notebook method. You may want a little bit more to be able to really spruce up your planner layout. Okay, so your planner should feel fun and exciting and inviting. Even if you just use a few cute stickers or colored headers, you really can make it a thing that's exciting to open. Okay, like this is exciting to open to me. This is exciting to open to me. Okay, this is exciting to open to me. I want to open my planner. I want to use it. I want to check in with it. I want to cross things off and check things off. And when I decorate it like this, it just makes it more fun. At the end of the day, you could just use your pen and paper. Please listen to me and don't do all the things if you're not ready for that yet. Okay, so that is step 2 in the process, is that you need some supplies, however that looks for you. All right, step 3 is that you're going to set up your layout, or you're going to decide which layout you're going to use. Now, this is where we get tactical, because the layout is going to be the roadmap for your planner. So here are some steps to consider when deciding what type of layout you want to use. And this is really super duper important. I've tried a ton of layouts over the years, and I finally found one that works for me because, again, y'all know I'm a girly that likes to have everything all on one spread. So you're going to have a couple of different things to consider when it comes to a layout. Do you need to track things at an overview level? So I do have an overview level here. So this is at a glance pages that allows me to track things for the whole entire year. Do you need that? Because if you do, you want to make sure that that planner system has that either built in, or you can add those pages on. Okay, and then you're going to need a monthly layout. Okay, or you might just be a monthly girl, so you only use this. Now, monthly layouts are typically going to include a monthly and then a weekly. So I use our weekly all-in-one layout because I literally have a spot for every single thing, from my schedule, from my meals, my to-do list, my habits, what I want to focus on, my financial. Everything is built into this layout, and I love that for me. Okay, there are also what's called daily layouts, which means you'll have one page for every single day. That's not me. Okay, now in addition to your at a glance, your monthly, your weekly, and your dailies, which is just a high level layout, there are specific layouts. Okay, this is a specific layout. Yes, it's a weekly layout, but it's called the vertical, it's called the weekly all-in-one layout. That's a type of layout. Okay, so you have to consider that as well. I know this seems like a lot, but it's not. Okay, here is your step-by-step guide on how to set up your layout, or just kind of choose what layout is going to work for you. First, you want to decide the main purpose. Okay, now the main purpose should be scheduling. So your appointments and deadlines, your daily planning, weekly planning, so like your tasks and your routines, and then your task and project management, so like brain dump and goals. All right, that all can be added to your spread, or you can have different sections and different inserts built within your planner that allows you to track those different things. When it comes to scheduling appointments and deadlines, that's typically going to be on your monthly, weekly, and daily. Okay, that's what this is going to be for. And then also high level, if you decide to do at a glance pages, your daily planning, your tasks and routines mostly are going to be here. Now I do have a separate section for my routines specifically because I'm a routine girly. You don't have to do this, but I have all of my routines here just kind of outlined. Okay, but you're still probably going to write in whatever those routine items are onto your planner spread. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Task management, so like your brain dumps and your long-term goals can still at the end of the day be written in here. You just want to figure out the best look for that. Or again, you can have separate inserts, which is why I love pre-printed. I have a separate section for my goals. All right, and task management, I have some inserts that I use for that as well, but I typically am just going to put whatever my tasks are on my schedule. And then things like brain dumps. All right, I love to use an inbox system to be able to dump everything out, which is here at the top. That way, as I think of things, I can just come here and I can write it in, and then I can transfer this into my planner. We do have brain dump inserts. I just grabbed the prompt page. So this is how that looks. And that way you can do a monthly brain dump, a weekly brain dump, whatever works for you, but we have a whole workbook for that. I just keep mine simple and just use an inbox system. It's pretty much the same thing. And then in yesterday's video, I showed you kind of a future log sort of way of planning that helps you to remember everything. And that's kind of like a brain dump system. So check yesterday's video out as well, okay? So the main purpose of your planner should be considered first. All right, I'm going to show you some layouts soon so that you can kind of see. Remember, we talked high level, at a glance, monthly, daily, or weekly daily is just kind of the type of planner, but the layout, the specific layout is something you want to consider as well. Okay, so a yearly overview is just going to give you that big picture. So planning for the year. Your monthly spread is for your tasks, deadlines, appointments, and recurring tasks. Weekly spreads is where you plan your week in detail. Okay, your daily spreads are going to help you to really drill down to those tasks and priorities, to-dos, personal notes, things like that. And then your task and project pages for like brain dump, self-improvement lists, that glow up tasks. Okay, so those are some common layouts. I kind of talked you through that. Not common layouts, but just at a high level. Okay, and then set up your inbox system. I definitely think everybody should have some sort of inbox system. So create a page in a notebook called inbox, dump everything there, random thoughts, tasks, reminders, ideas, everything. At the end of the day or the week, you want to process your inbox. So you may want to make sure that you're moving items daily into your spread, your weekly plans, daily plans, monthly plans, all of that, or onto a project list. Okay, so that's going to clear out your head and it's going to keep your planner organized, which is what you want. And don't overthink things, okay? This isn't about perfection, all right? So start simple and build complexity only when it's needed, all right? So let's talk through some layouts, all right, on a more specific level. These aren't all the layouts we have available at Fancy Plans Co. These are just some of the layouts. It's kind of crazy the amount of layouts that we have. Okay, so I'm gonna show you some of them so that way you can kind of see how they look. And you can decide, hey, I want to pick that up for myself. All of the monthlies look exactly the same. All right. Very clean, very minimal. Now, this is our teacher layout. So let's say you're a teacher. It gives you a great way to be able to plan by subject. So math, science, social studies, whatever. Okay. And then you can put a little something there on this block or just put the date there. And then you can go ahead and plan like this. Okay. So this is how our teacher layout looks. This is a great option for teachers and you can use it even if you're not a teacher. Now, let's say you're just a monthly planner girly. Okay. This is different in terms of the blank monthly. Everything is on one page. So each and every page looks the same. And this is just your simple monthly layout. It has a notes page and a monthly page. So if you're just that simple girly that just wants to write in your monthly tasks, I got you. All right. Next up, we have the vertical layout. This is an OG layout, y'all. This is what everybody started with pretty much. And this just allows you to plan in several different ways. You can literally load it up with all your tasks, or you can split it up by morning, afternoon, evening routine. You can still section this out. You can use this however you want. All of our layouts are very minimal, blank slate type of layouts that you can use just with your pen, highlighter, or you can add stickers, whatever you like. But this is an OG layout. This is what most planners started with, just your vertical layout, which is still a great option. It's just very blank and minimal, so you have to really decide how you want to use that. Now, this is what I'm using for my business and social media planner currently. This is our subject style layout. I love this layout because if your brain works like mine, my brain works in sections. So I need to be able to put different sections here and then break down those various tasks by the section. So this gives you several lines, multiple boxes, a lot of space to be able to write in all of those tasks. It's very clean, very minimal with that pop of black. You can still add stickers here, but it just allows you to be able to section things off if that's how your brain works, and that's how my brain works. Okay, and then we've got you see how many layouts we have? This is crazy. If you're a simple girl and you don't need all that space, but you still want something that's pre-printed and you want to be able to write in your schedule, as well as some priorities, tasks, things you need to buy, and you want to write your notes in, and that's all you need. This is the layout for you. We have a layout guide on our shop, so you can always click the top of our shop and there's a drop down there for resources, and it has a layout guide and it shows you all of these layouts, and you can click on them. You can read the description to see which one may work for you. But this is literally one page. So everything will go on one page. So this is a very simple, and it also lessens the bulk of your planner because instead of the weekly being on 2 pages, it's on 1 page. All right, so that is also a great option. I used to use that in the past. One day I'll show you each of these layouts filled in so you can see how I used it in the past, because I always use all of the layouts first just to show you guys how to use it and to see if it's a layout I want after I create it. I didn't create it for nothing. And then, I try it out for a little bit, and then I either stick with it or I don't. Okay, so this is our weekly tasks layout. So you have your monthly calendar, and then you have a couple of other things. So this is just if you like task planning. I have some trackers here to do checklists, a place for goals, a blank spot, another blank spot, priorities, grateful for, all right? And then you literally just fill in tasks here. That's all that this consists of. And this is a great option that some people swear by. And I have used it in the past, but it's just not working for me at the moment. So of course I'm not using it, all right? I know there's a lot. I still have several more to show you. This is also an OG layout. This is a horizontal layout, and a lot of people love this. This is great for journaling too, or memory keeping. You literally just write in your tasks across. You can still use stickers with this layout as well, but it has a monthly pages just like normal, and then this is the week. All right, so that is a horizontal. So there's another option for you. All right. And then this is one of our really popular layouts as well. It's just a random layout that has your weekly here, your goals, some boxes, get it done in a tracker, and then next week. So this, we like to just give you several different options just so you can see what will work for you. One layout it's not a one size fit all thing. All right, this is also a really popular OG sorta-ish layout. It's the vertical layout, so it's got boxes here at the top, and then it's got lines at the bottom. This is great for list makers. I'm definitely a list maker. You can put your important appointments here at the top, and then to-do list at the bottom. So I really love this option if you just like to have to-do lists, and it allows you to be able to do your to-do list and still have a spot for your appointments within the spread. Okay, here is another layout, and this is a dashboard, horizontal dashboard layout. We have so many that sometimes I forget. So it's kind of a hybrid between a horizontal layout and the dashboard layout. So you've got your dashboard here, and then you've got your horizontal there. So I love this layout. I did use it at some point, and it was very effective for me. And I have to be honest, now that I'm looking at some of these layouts, I'm like, maybe I'll try them again. Okay, so let's say you're a block schedule girly. You see how we got you covered in every way possible? This is our block schedule layout. So if you like to do things in bulk chunks, this is a great layout for you, okay? So you're gonna add your block, whatever that is. Let's say it's your cleaning block or office task blocks or work block or whatever the block is. You're gonna write here on the side, and then you're going to write in all the block tasks. Don't you love this layout? And so this is a great option if that's how your brain works as well. All right, so those are just some of our layouts. We have probably about 5 to 7 more layouts, which is literally insane. So we have something for everybody. So there's no excuse as to why you can't find the perfect planner layout for you that's going to fit your needs. So in addition to thinking about whether or not you need overview, at a glance pages, monthly pages, weekly pages, daily pages as a high level overview, structure, if you will, you also want to consider the exact guts of the planner, the exact layout that you'll need specifically to be super functional and one that's going to work for your needs and your lifestyle. Step 4 is planning. All right, so we're going to plan your days and your weeks. Daily and weekly planning is where the magic happens. So here's exactly how to do it. Now, this is the most important thing, okay? Why are you buying a planner that you're not using to plan your days and your weeks? That's literally crazy. Okay, so you have to consider, again, daily planning, weekly planning, monthly planning. Now, here is how I structure things. Now, you're going to do things differently based on what you do. Now, I did do a whole entire planner routine video on my channel, so you can always check that out to see my exact planner routine, because I'm not going to take you through that. We'll just do a brief overview. But for me, it starts at the at a glance pages. So this is where I come. I may fill in my whole entire year. I start with the school's calendar and then things that I know need to occur every single week, day, month, and I just go ahead and write it in when I get a new planner. Okay, some planners include this page and some don't. Okay, if you're going to buy a Coil planner, most likely it may include these pages. It should include these pages because I think these are important. Your disc bound, pre-printed, pre-assembled planners like the Happy Planner will include these pages, I believe, unless something's changed. But this is a great high level starting point. So come here, plan it all out. Okay, then when the month comes, you're going to look at that column and then you're going to plan out your month. All right, so you definitely want to be planning at a high level monthly. This is where it starts for me. I go ahead and fill out my entire month at the beginning of the month. I put my monthly tasks here of things I want to remember to plan for. And then I go ahead and fill this in with everything I know that's occurring. Now, I do a hybrid, like I told you before. So I do use my phone. So if I'm out and about, I'll use the Notes app. That is my capture system when I'm out and about. Transfer that here. I also use my calendar on my phone so that way I can have pop-up reminders of things I need to do. Okay, so that's something that you want to consider as well. So monthly high-level overview, and then I'll come here when I get ready to plan my week out. I'll look at the week right here on my monthly, and then I'll plan my week out. Okay, again, this gives me everything. Now, there are certain sections within my planner that I do refer to, for instance, to fill in my financial. Okay, I need to see what bills are due for that week. My meal planner to fill in my meal planner. Otherwise, this is it for me. I also have a faith planner here that I refer to and write in to be able to keep on track with those tasks. So those 3 sections I use to feed into my planner. Okay, so daily planning should consist of whether you're using this sort of daily, weekly, daily, because each one is a day. So that is daily planning, but this is a weekly layout, or you're using a daily layout, which I don't believe I showed you a daily layout. I'm trying to see if I have one to show you in front of me. Okay, this is a daily layout, and this is a Coil planner, which is a great example. So you see how limited this is? You can't do anything besides use the planner as is. But this is a daily layout, one of our daily layouts, where you can just write in everything. You see how it's blank, so you can use the sections however you see fit. There's a place for an hourly here, your top 3 here, a to-do list here, and then various other sections. So you'll use this if this layout is something you feel may work for you. So this is a weekly, but again, every single column is daily. This doesn't have the weekly on 2 pages or 1 page. It's just a daily page. Okay, and so you want to make sure that you're listing your 3 priorities, your non-negotiables. Okay, everything else is a bonus, but these have to get done. You want to include things like appointments, workouts, any time-sensitive tasks should be filled in your planner. Any outings, any errands, any to-do list things, all of that should be here. Your at a glance high level feeds into your monthly feeds into your weekly. If you add a daily within this system, your weekly would feed into your daily. Okay, so it's kind of like a funnel. All right, you also want to make sure you reflect nightly what got done, what needs to migrate to the next day. All right, your weekly planning is going to, at the start of the week, you're going to block out all of your appointments, deadlines, workouts, all of that. Really, daily and weekly planning you're doing that with. Now, weekly and daily planning are going to look a little different in that with your weekly planner, I'm literally sitting here and I'm filling in my week. Every now and then I'll add a task or two and I'll check things off. Now your daily planner, you're planning every single day out. So that can get a little bit overwhelming. So consider that as well. This is a one-time thing, whereas daily is a daily thing, okay? And so do what works for you, right? So you also can pair planning with small rituals like coffee, candles, music, so that way you can make it enjoyable. It shouldn't be stressful. So sometimes I'll sit here and light a candle, I have my coffee, I'll put some music on, I'll really set the tone and the vibe to make the experience more enjoyable, okay? It should be an enjoyable, fun experience. Okay, so now we're on to step 5. You plan everything out, which is what you got to do, even if it's just in a notebook. But remember, if it's in a notebook, it's going to look different because you have to literally design the page the way you want it to be the most functional for you. So that's why I love, again, in addition to planning your weeks, your days, your months, and all of that, you also want to be tracking your goals and your habits, because your planner isn't just a schedule, it's a life progress tool. So let me break it down for you in terms of how you can do that and add that to your weekly, monthly, and daily planning. You should also be tracking your goals and habits. Now, I have a couple of ways that I do that. I have a habit tracker here. That makes things simple because it's already built into the layout. All I have to do is come here and put my habits that I want to track and then check them off. I am definitely a big advocate for habit tracking. I think that that just helps you to stay on track with all of the different things that you want to do, and building habits is always a good idea. Okay. You also want to be able to track goals. Now, I showed you briefly the goals section. Now, again, some things have it built within the planner system. If you're using a notebook, you'll have to figure that out in terms of how you want to do that. But I use goals pages to break down my long-term goals, and then I make sure that I'm chipping away at those goals. So here are the steps that you should take in order to be able to make sure that you're tracking all of those things, your goals and your habits. Now, I have a full section for goals. So as you can see, I'm able to track all of my goals. I can write them here at a high level, and then I want to make sure that I'm breaking them down and I'm adding them to my weekly and daily planning. Otherwise, I'm not going to get them done. Okay. So you definitely want to have somewhere to be able to write in your goals, whether that be a section, a notebook, whatever works for you. And I love doing this by life area because that just helps me to break it down that much easier. And they still may need more breaking down. Okay. So yes, I'm able to have a goal for family, friends, business and career, spirituality, financial, health, fitness, and all of those various things. I love this life area insert. They have steps that go along with those too. So you want to break them down and then make sure you add them to your planner so you can start to achieve those goals. You should have goals for different areas of your life. And I love the insert here because it allows you to break them down by area. And then you could add in a sheet of notebook paper to break down all of the steps if there are more than 3. And then again, transfer them over so you can tackle them. All right, you also want to create a habit tracker for various things, whether that's water intake, workout, journaling, reading, whatever. Okay. Now I love this. I know I keep saying that this set of inserts or this weekly calendar spread is life-changing, okay? Because it's already here. So I can indicate whatever my top habits are that I want to make sure I track. Habits are always a good idea to track. It's already built in the planner. I don't need to pop in anything additional, but you could pop in a half sheet. You could have a full page. I do have a page here that allows me to track only habits. And so you could add a page like this. As you can see, this is kind of a habit tracker. All right, so this gives you 15 habits and then you can mark them off here. You could add this to your weekly spread. You could keep it in your goals section or a habit tracker section. You could pop a sticker in that's a habit tracker sticker that kind of looks like this. There's so many different options when it comes to this, or you can, again, use that same notebook that you may be using and draw in a habit tracker. Whatever that is and however that looks for you, you definitely want to create some sort of habit tracker to track those habits, all right? And then you need to check in weekly with all of those things, your habits and your goals, mark successes, tweak what isn't working, all right? I also am a big advocate for adding motivational elements, okay? All of this takes motivation, even though motivation is a scam, okay? Because sometimes motivation don't happen. It pops up when you don't need it and it don't pop up when you do need it. You know what I mean? Like, come on, make that make sense. So sometimes motivation is difficult. So you need to let something else drive you other than motivation. But a good old quote, affirmation, or some sort of visual could be exactly what you need to help to get you through the day. So add those elements into your planner as well. And those should help you to be able to stay on track with this whole thing, your goals, your habits, and all of that thing, all of those things, okay? Because when you see progress, baby, it's going to help to keep you consistent without feeling that extra pressure. So step 5, track those habits, track those goals. They are an important part of your planning system. It's not just about planning your day, week, and month. It's also about your goals and your habits. Okay, here's step 6, and it's an important one, okay? You want to make sure you add personality, because a planner that's cute equals a planner that opens daily, all right? So here are some ways to really personalize your planner system. Okay, again, we talked earlier about how when you visually see a nice looking planner, from the cover to the pin to the everything, it's aesthetically pleasing, it's gorgeous, it's beautiful. It makes me want to open this planner every single day. Okay, so a planner that's cute is a planner that you want to open every single day. So here are some ways that you can add personality to your planner. Change the cover out. Now this is our hard cover, which I'm absolutely obsessed with because it's the quality for me, okay? All of our laminated and our hard covers are double-sided. So as you can see, there's a different look. If I want to flip this, I have another separate planner cover that I could use. Also, your pin loop can make your planner decorative. All of the little embellishment elements, all of that is personalization, and it just helps you to be able to want to open this planner up. So it starts from the outside in. Of course, with your planner pages, you can add different elements like stickers. Okay, we talked about that earlier. Stickers, washi tape, all of the things to really make your planner visually appealing. There's also what's called vellum. So as you can see, this is an example of that. This is our vellum semicircle, which I love. And as you can see, I have a lot of different decorative elements that when I go section by section and I open it up, it looks beautiful. And it just makes me want to continue working within this planner. And of course, I change things as my aesthetic changes. And so that way I could keep it fresh. This is also a vellum that I use to kind of pop things onto. There are page markers that give you visually different looks that you can add to your planner that look good and that just add that personality. This is all about you here. So the personality is going to look different from person to person. But I love adding sticky notes to dashboards. I love clear dashboards. I love vellum. I love the aesthetics of my planner pages themselves. So that's something that you'll want to consider when you're looking at a planner. Do I like the font of the planner? Okay, do I want a dated planner? Do I want to date it myself? Do I like my penmanship? Maybe I don't. Maybe I need something, you know, like really try to think of everything when it comes to the aesthetics of a planner that really are going to just add in that personality and make you want to open that planner every single day. Okay, I love little pocket folders added in. I love the little dangle charms on the side. I love popping sticky notes onto vellum and to dashboards. I love it all, as you can see. I like to add all the things to my planner that makes it pretty for me. Again, this is not about you. This is about me, okay? And your planner should look, you know, however you want it to look. That really, again, adds that personalized touch, okay? You could use photos. I'm not a big photo person, but I do like to have a photo here of Addison and I, but you can add more photos. A pocket folder like this is a great option for that. So that way you could just pop the photo in. But there's several different ways to add a photo touch to your planner. You can really literally add anything you want. Quotes, page markers, paper clips, journaling cards. All of that is just a way to further personalize your planner to just really make it special for you. Okay, so add some personality to your planner, sis, all right? That way it makes it functional and pretty. And when it's fun, baby, it becomes a habit naturally. Step 7 is to review and adjust regularly, okay? Planning is never static. You need to adapt. So here's exactly how to do it. You're going to do a daily mini review. So check off completed tasks, migrate unfinished ones. Okay. You're also going to do a weekly reflection. So what worked? What didn't? Adjust your layouts, colors, or trackers to reflect that. Also do a monthly reset. Start fresh spreads, update trackers, and set new goals. You should also be doing seasonal check-ins. So every 3 to 4 months, evaluate your whole system. Maybe your daily layout needs tweaking or you need new habit trackers. So here's a tip. Flexibility is key. Your planner should work for you, not the other way around. Step 8 is that you're going to make it a habit. Finally, you gotta actually use it. A planner that sits closed is useless. So here's some steps to stick with it, because this is important. You set it all up on the front end. You've chosen your layout. You've got all of your tools and resources. You're in your groove of things, but sometimes you may experience burnout. And we don't want that to happen, because your planner needs to be a lifelong change. It's something that you're going to stick with forever, okay? You might make tweaks and changes here and there, but this is you. This is all you, baby. So you wanna make sure that you're sticking with it, all right? So here are some steps that you can use to make sure that you're doing just that. You wanna schedule planning sessions daily and weekly. So every week I sit down with my planner, I plan it out, okay? But you should also be checking in daily with your planner to make sure you're staying on track with all of your tasks and checking things off as you complete them. Make sure you keep your planner in a spot where you can see it often. Don't hide it away somewhere on a shelf. It needs to be on your desk, in a bag, or if you're using a digital device, you need to be able to see it. That way you can make sure you're opening it, okay? Also, I talked about this earlier, but pair planning with rituals like coffee, music, candles. Set the tone. So that way it makes it a whole experience, okay? Celebrate your small wins. Checking things off feels great. When I tell you I can take my little pen and do a check like that, it's the simple things in life, all right? So celebrate those small wins so you can have that feeling of goodness too, okay? You also need to experiment and evolve. Life changes and your planner should change too. This ain't gonna be forever in terms of the look of it. As you grow within your planner system, things are going to start look differently for you, and that's okay. So make sure that you're constantly evolving as your life changes. All right, here's a pro tip. Stick with your planner for 21 days. That's how often habits form. By then, your planner is going to be a system and a source of joy, which is what you want in your life, okay? Your planner should be a useful tool for you that helps you to be able to achieve greatness. I know you're great. You're that girl, okay? And I know I'm that girl, but the only way that I'm able to be that girl is by using some sort of planner system that over the years I've developed and tweaked, and now is my thing. It's what works for me, and it's what helps me to stay on track of all the things I need to get done in my life, because life is lifing. And if life is lifing and you don't have a system in place and you feel like you're drowning, then you need to consider why. And a planner might just be the implementation you need in your life to be able to not be drowning any longer. And even if you have a planner and you still feel like you are, you need to reassess. And you need to see what is working within your planner system and what isn't working, and you need to make some changes, period. Okay? All right, now here's a pro tip. Stick with your planner for 21 days. That's how habits form. By then, your planner will be a system and a source of joy. All right, so this is your complete mid-year quick start guide. Now I know it's a little bit past mid-year, but follow these steps and you'll have a planner that's beautiful, functional, and personalized for you, baby. You'll finally feel in control of your days, your goals, and your life. Period. All right, y'all, that's it. You have all of the steps in the process for being able to build the perfect dream planner for you. So that way you can tackle all of your goals. You can crush your days like the boss that I know that you are. So there's no more excuses. What are you going to do with the information I just gave you? Hello. All right. Let me know if you guys have any questions in the comments below. I'm here for you. That's why this channel exists, for me to be able to motivate you and to tell you how I use my planner, in hopes that some of the tips and tricks and things that have worked for me over the years will work for you as well. All right. So thanks for joining me for today's video. I really appreciate you stopping by. Hopefully you'll give me a thumbs up. That's the only way I know that you want me to continue doing content like this. So make sure you do that. If you're new here, I hope you'll consider subscribing to my channel. Come on and join the family. You know you want to. And as always, I hope that you'll come back and join me for another video, in which case I'll see you then.